I've been working on tanstack AI for over a month now, and I've noticed something that I wanted to talk about, and that is the hate for AI. This has been bothering me for a while now, and I went through the same thing, so I just wanted to talk about my experience with it and how I feel about it. And I hope you enjoyed this one because I don't usually make these kind of personal videos where I talk about my experiences. I usually make tutorials, but bear with me. So even before AI was a thing, I think all of us went through our crypto hate where everybody was posting about crypto, talking about crypto, how it's gonna change the web, how Web 3.0 is the future, how crypto is so important. And there were all of these kinds of different grifters who would just sell you on crypto, why it's important, and you actually never saw the value in it or why crypto is gonna revolutionize everything, and they kept shoving it down your throat, and all you kept seeing was how everybody was using crypto to scam other people. You would see influencers and famous people who have no idea about crypto launching their crypto coins and then rug pulling people, and it was getting to a point where it was like super annoying. And then AI came out, and all of these grifters who were selling you on crypto just moved over to AI. And then every day you would see posts like these: why 95 programmers will be obsolete by year X, why programming is dead, or some sort of variation of, hey, this model just launched, programming is dead, design is dead, architecture is dead, whatever is dead. And they kept just shoving it down your throat and telling you how you're gonna be obsolete, how AI is gonna replace you, the AI is the smartest thing you've ever seen. And you, as a developer who has a lot of experience, see these kinds of posts and you're like, no way, this can be that smart. And then you try it and it's not. And then you realize it's just grifters trying to sell you on a dream. And they're usually selling you some sort of product. And then it talks about something like this. So last week I was the senior developer with 15 years of experience, spent an entire week architecting a complex authentication system with role-based permissions, custom middleware, blah, 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 blah. On Friday, out of curiosity, I asked AI to build the same system. It delivered functionality identical code in 15 minutes. The AI solution wasn't just faster, it was better structured, better documented, and contained fewer potential security vulnerabilities. And just to sidetrack here, nothing against the author or anybody I mention or go over in this video, it's just trying to make a point. And you would see all of these kinds of articles out there, and usually if you log in on LinkedIn or Twitter or whatever, you wake up, you go there, a new model dropped, there's like 1000 grifter posts where they usually start with programming is dead, architecture is dead, designers are dead, this profession is getting killed, this is getting killed, the model is the best ever, it's gonna replace everybody, blah blah blah. And then you try it out locally and it's not that great. It's usually a little bit of an improvement over the old model, which wasn't great to begin with. And we kind of end up in this infinite loop of new model comes out, grifters make these aggravating posts, you read about them, and over time it kind of adds up and you start hating the AI for it because all you keep seeing is these annoying things. And then to make the matters worse, you see delusional CEOs, like some AI CEO says technology moving very quickly, could soon replace more jobs. Then you see the Google CEO, he says people will need to adapt to AI stealing their jobs. Then you see the Anthropic CEO, he says that in 3 to 6 months AI will be writing 90% of the code software developers were in charge of. And you keep seeing these small little things that are related to AI and all of these egregious claims and all of these fluffed up articles about how AI is great, and you know it's not, so it's kind of disingenuous, and it kind of gets to a point where you start hating AI and you really don't want to use it out of principle, not because it's not useful, it's just so annoying to listen to all of these people rant and love and promote AI like it's gonna do everything for us, and it's clearly not. Maybe in the future it is, but in the near future it's not. And then your resentment keeps growing and growing and growing, and you don't want to use AI products, or you're kind of content with them, and then CEOs come out and say they are puzzled by people being unimpressed with AI, and then that even pisses you off even more. And it just keeps snowballing and snowballing, and you're just hating and hating AI even more. And then you have something like influencers who come out and say the latest model is the greatest one, and then test it out. They see it's not that great compared to the older ones, and it just keeps spinning in a loop, and you're wondering why is everybody promoting it so hard when it's clearly not as great as they say it is. It just boggles the mind. And then the last thing, you have companies who are kind of trying to shove AI down your throat, even in things they shouldn't be shoving it down in. And for example, you're used to some teams working on your favorite products, they're improving it by adding some DX and stuff like that. And then, for example, you open up the November of 2005 update for VS Code, and look at this. So, agents, integrating agent sessions and chat, all of this is AI related, compact view for chat, and then you scroll down, side by side view, orientation setting for chat, local agent sessions remain active and closed, continue tests in background, blah blah blah. You keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and then you're scrolling even more, and you're scrolling even more. You reach the chat section, then you scroll through that, then you're scrolling even more, and then you reach MCP, and then finally you get to accessibility. That is almost related to chat. And then after all of that scrolling, you actually get to the code editing part that's actually something you care about for your code editor. And there you have it. You've scrolled for 15 minutes, you've reached the code editing part, and now you hate AI even more because you've spent 15 minutes trying to find the stuff you care about because everybody's focused on AI and giving it to you. At this point, you're just ready to give up on AI because it's been shoved down your throat so much, you just can't deal with it. But the real question is, should you actually use it, and is it useful, like putting all of these things aside? Well, the answer is yes. You shouldn't really hate AI for all of these things that happen. It's really not related to each other in terms of how useful AI could be and how everybody, including the grifters, is promoting it and shoving it down your throats, because you really don't need to associate the two. You can just use AI at your own pace, try out stuff that you like, not use the stuff that you don't like, and really just experiment with it. See how it can help you. And I'm gonna show you how I use AI and how it helped me over the last 2 years, how I use it every day, what I like, what I don't like, and stuff like that. So check this out. So for example, I have this open, and this is the package.json of tanstack AI, so the root package.json. And this is kind of a crazy script, and I have no idea what it's doing. Well, I can just right click it, I can click explain, and let's see what's gonna happen. So this npm script name is this and this. This command uses nx. It tells me what nx is. So it explains what the affected command is, how it works, what the targets are, what each of these scripts does. It tells me that, for example, test nip runs nip and gives me a link to the nip documentation so I can check it out. It explains that the order in the list doesn't necessarily dictate the execution order, so it explains everything to me. And then I can ask it questions like, why does it use NX? And then it explains it uses an X because it's a monorepo and lists all of these things out. And this is kind of a great way for you to actually learn without having to go to the NX documentation, to go to NIP documentation, to go wherever. Like if you're trying to get some of your tasks or ticket done and you don't really have time to spend like 5 hours investigating the documentation to understand it better, you can just ask the AI and it's gonna explain it to you. And one of my personal favorite things to do with AI is actually use it to like figure out stuff. It's really useful because it can actually, in a really fast manner, explain how something works. So that's one way to use it. So the second way I like to use it is very specific to my use cases. But it just goes to show how you can use AI to tailor it to your needs instead of just using it as a general solution. Is, for example, whenever we're building an open source project, we have these examples here. And for example, if I open up TS React Chat, it has like the source, and then it has the components, it has the routes, yada yada. And if I open up this and make this window a little bit smaller and I scroll down here, you can see that all of this is styled and it has a lot of styling here. And if I actually go to the terminal and then I change to examples, TS React Chat, and then I run it, and I make this a little bit larger, I can click on the URL, and it opens the local host, and it looks like this. So you can actually use AI to make your examples prettier. So for example, instead of me like spending 6 hours to style this example so people can actually see what the open source library does, I can use AI to basically create this screen in like 5 minutes. I personally don't really care what the coding structure looks like. I care only that it looks nice for the eyes. So that's even better because I don't really have to check what the AI did in terms of like structure and stuff like that. This is just an example that's not shipped to production. So I can just use AI to do stuff like this. And then the last way I use it, if I go to my GitHub profile and go to my repositories, I have this video to social previews GitHub. And I have a big issue when it comes to creating these videos. And I mean, it's not an issue, but rather something I really don't like to do. And that is when I'm editing the video, I have to, first of all, manually add chapters in. And if you don't know what chapters are basically these. So this video has 13 chapters, this one has 23, this one has 20. And the way it works is if I open up the video and go down and I click on the description here, these are the chapters. So how I usually did it before is I would have DaVinci open, I would edit and cut the video, and as I went along, I would manually write down the chapters. So for example, at, I don't know, 0028, I would stop, I would write down live demo setup, custom chat plus system prompt, blah, blah, blah. And this is how I did my chapters. So that's really tedious to do. And then another issue I had was I wouldn't be able to have a transcript for the video that I can upload, which kind of, it doesn't really impact the video that much, but it's really cool if you have your own. And another thing that I really hate to do is write socials. So for example, whenever I post a video, I post it on Reddit, on X, on Blue Sky, on obviously YouTube, and then LinkedIn and maybe some other platform depending on what the video topic is on. And you have to write a social copy for every one of those platforms. And then finally, something that I haven't started doing yet, but I want to, is to write blog posts from the video. So for example, if this video is about tanstack AI and what it does, I would like to have a one-to-one blog post because some people don't like watching videos like this one, they prefer reading. So what they do is they read blog posts, and if I could cover the same topic in both a blog post and a video, that would be great for everybody because more people can actually listen to my content and watch it and stuff like that. So those are my problems, and they are real problems, and I've solved all of them with the help of AI. What this does is basically it's an automation script that solves all of these problems for me. So it transcribes the video. So I basically give it, so when I'm done editing this, I'm just going to give the AI this exact video that you're watching. What it's gonna do is it's gonna transcribe the video. So it's gonna extract the audio as text, and then I'm gonna send it to OpenAI. And what it does is it generates a title, description, and tags for the video based on the transcript. It creates the YouTube chapter, so I can basically copy paste them. It creates the social media posts, and it creates the blog post. So it does all of this with a single prompt that I've spent like maybe 2 hours writing. And how I wrote it is using ChatGPT. So basically, I've used AI to create an automation flow that uses AI to speed up my publishing process. And this was really easy to do. It took me a few hours, and this could even be its standalone product if you decided to build up on this and create something like a YouTube to blog converter or something like that. So AI really allows you to be more productive, to make your everyday jobs easier. So for example, you could maybe write an automation script to update your Jira tickets. So for example, if you're working on a Jira ticket 633, you want to move it to in progress, you can like create an automation script with AI that basically like calls the CLI, updates the ticket, and you're done. And maybe add some description and what you're working on and stuff like that. So it really is useful, and you can use it in a lot of ways. You can generate images, you can generate video, you can use, for example, what I also do is I use it a lot for generating like images for some random promotions of the things I'm doing. So for example, what I would do is a few days ago, tanstack DevTools got support for Vue, and I wanted to announce it in a fancy way that's not like a single sentence. So what I did was I generated like an image of Vue and tanstack DevTools like shaking hands, and then I posted that with the announcement of support for Vue in tanstack DevTools. That again is something very specific to my use cases, but you can think of use cases for yourself and do them in that way. So yeah, to wrap it all up, there's a lot of hype around AI, and a lot of people are jumping on the train to promote it and try to peddle their product. AI is really great. You can use it for a lot of stuff. You can automate a lot of stuff and make your lives easier. And that is the important part about AI, that you can use it to benefit from it. And it's not really that bad. It's just the fact that everybody keeps telling you that it's better than it actually is and scaring you into thinking that you're gonna lose your job, that kind of alienates you from the use of AI. But I really do recommend you try it out, and I understand that even like some people are not permitted to use it for work, so you have some sort of legalities around it and you just can't use it. So you can try it in your own time. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to share my thoughts on if you should use AI or not, how I use it. And yeah, I hope you like this one. It's very different than all the videos I make, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any other topics you would like me to cover in this way, feel free to let me know. And that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!